everybody. How are you? How's your day been? How have you been? How are you today? Because many times when we ask you how are you, you don't really know. You just answer default, I am fine. But I really want to know how you are. How are you? How's your mind? What's going on with you? My name is Antitega, and we're talking about drug use prevention. So I'm sure you're within the ages of 14 and 17, and this is a very critical age when it comes to substance use. So we're going to talk about it, even though we know that sometimes people start earlier, sometimes people start later, but it's still, very important that we have this conversation. So what's the goal of this talk? To help you make informed, confident, and value-aligned decisions about drug use. The truth is that drugs are everywhere. They are everywhere. So I'm going to start sharing my slides now. Drugs are everywhere. You see them every single place. It's available. In fact, even if you don't want to use your money to buy, somebody will offer you. I have a client that came by the office and she was about to turn 30. And she got some money, good money. She did a good contract and she got some money. And the money she got, she now went and bought bags of different drugs. That kind, let's just binge. She and her friends. So thankfully for her, when she bought it, she now said she was going to call her friend over 500k worth. It wasn't like it was small money, 500,000 worth just for drugs. We didn't talk about food, we didn't talk about drink. One of the girls that was going to go there, somebody now had a dream and told her that I had a dream about you, that you went somewhere and something happened and you died. But she didn't even take it seriously. Then the girl who was turning 30, someone that she knew a long time ago, a Christian sister, now called her and told her that I had a dream about you, that you did not see your 30th birthday. Because this girl's plan was that they were going to start using drugs from the night before to the birthday. So she said, I had a dream that you were ready to celebrate, but you ended up not getting into your 30th birthday. I don't know what it is that you're planning. And this girl, this person that called her, does not know that she does drugs, has never heard that she does drugs. Just told her that whatever it is you're planning, please be careful. Don't, get involved in anything that will cause you to lose your life. She said she was so scared that's how she ran and called her friends and said the party is over. Then the other one now told her, I also dreamt that someone also called me to tell me that they heard that I died. That's how that thing was over. But just imagine that nobody called to tell them that. All of them will have gone there. 5 of them, 500,000 naira drugs. Do you understand how much drugs could have ingested? Do you know how much drugs they could have overdosed? Anything could have happened to them. So drugs are available. High people like get people high. Hurt people like hurting people. So it's very important that you understand there's availability. Even sell drugs in traffic now. Yes. I've seen them carrying marijuana in traffic. So I'm sure you know many of these drugs. So what are the definitions of what's the definition of drugs? Drugs are substances that can change how your body and your mind work. Some are legal, like prescription medication. Others are illegal, or they are harmful when they are misused. So even the ones that are legal, yeah, like the ones you buy over the counter, like codeine, cough syrup, and all those things, and even Lexotan, some of those medications that you buy over the counter, some of them have become controlled drugs now. Even when you buy those ones that are legal, that are supposed to help your body, that are supposed to, help you get better, when you misuse them out of prescription, they can also be harmful to your body. You see that song, say if somebody was on a codeine diet, codeine is actually good for you. when you have a cough or you have a cold, is a painkiller. So it actually helps you. It's a medically prescribed medication. But if you use it or misuse it, if you use it wrongly, out of prescription, and of course misuse it, it becomes harmful to your body. So that's why some people will say, oh, it's accepted. I can go into any place and buy now. You can. But the way you use it also matters. You have to take one spoon, you now drink a full bottle. That's misuse. So what are the types of drugs? Prescription drugs used correctly under a doctor's care or abused. Now, if you know someone who has sickle cell anemia, someone who is SS, the person will say, oh, they have a crisis and then they have to take some painkillers and some injections. Many of them have started to abuse it. So we see a lot of people who have sickle cell and then start to use drugs. The things that blood pressure is very, 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 it's such a wide patients. Some people is family dysfunction. Some people is trauma. Trauma is the response you have when you have had an emotional disruption. So those are some of the gateways to drug use. So a person that has sickle cell is a medical gateway. When I had my son, one of the things that they gave me was the very strong medication, and it gives you that euphoric feeling. You think you're high. Before you know it, you want more of that. That's what happens to those sickle cell patients. So the types of drugs, over-the-counter drugs, illegal drugs like cocaine, heroin, marijuana, in some regions, because some people now say that in some places, especially if you live abroad, they'll say, oh, now marijuana is legal in their countries. But there are different variants of marijuana. That's why you hear some people shouting on colos. Also, if you are one of those people that used to shout on colos, don't follow them and shout on colos before you go and try it one day. You've seen what Colorado does to somebody. Let me tell you something. A client of mine who uses Colorado, he told me, he said, Colorado gives you the lifetime of a madman in 30 minutes. It lasts maybe about 30 to 45 minutes. But what you will be experiencing is what a person who is mentally unstable has experienced for their life. That's not something anybody wants to get, because you cannot control yourself. You can't control how you behave. There is Loud, there's Arizona, there are different ones. There is Gorilla Glue, there's Canadian Glue, there are different types of marijuana. So there are different variants. Some of them, you see them, they sell them at ridiculous amounts. It's because they've been processed and then now they are becoming that amount. Then there are social drugs. Now these are socially accepted drugs, like alcohol. Yes, alcohol is a drug. Yes, like cigarettes, vapes. Many of you are vaping up and down. You just think that, okay, because you can buy it in a shop, that means it's okay. Vape pens, shisha, they have components or things in them that can mess with your mind and your body. Anything that is going to alter the way your brain functions is harmful to you. You might feel good in the beginning. You might feel good because before we used to say, you see them, you can see that man is going mad, though. That's why his drugs he was taking. Listen, I'm going to tell you the truth. In the beginning, you will like the way you feel. You'll be like, oh, you're floating in the air, you're feeling good. But there is a long-term consequence. And the reason why we tell you not to do it is because apart from the long-term consequence one, which is it can mess with your body, it can mess with your mind, it can mess with your nervous system, it can mess with your reproductive system, it can mess with your respiratory system. You can build tolerance after a while. What is tolerance? Let us say that you take a bottle of Coke. The way first time you drank the Coke, or let's say, okay, let me use a slice of cake if you're a cake person. They give you a slice of cake. You love it. Oh, you're like, oh my God, it's so moist, it's so tasty. You go back and you take another one so that you can get that same feeling you felt the first time it was moist and tasty. The next time you see that carrot cake or that chocolate cake, the first thing that comes to your mind is, hey, let me take. But by the time you take it, you will not feel that same way. You need to eat a bit more. And you not say, oh, I've balanced myself because I ate enough, because I loved how it is. That means your body has built tolerance. So you need to now take more to get you to the point where you first got to the first time. So when you get build tolerance over time, those are the things that make you use more substance. And when you use more substance, guess what happens? You are compounding the negative effect in your body on the long run. I tell people this thing all the time when I talk about my experience. Okay, let me talk about the next one, the type of drug. They are hidden and subtle drugs. And these are some of them are also, over-the-counter drugs, like codeine syrup. Codeine is something you can buy because you have cough. Sometimes they use it for painkillers because maybe you can't sleep. So it's supposed to help you sleep despite the pain or the discomfort that you feel. But when you now like the feeling you are feeling with one spoon, you will now take half a bottle. Then you now start taking 2 bottles. You know that you have become a drug use victim. Or when you take tramadol, the number of milligrams that tramadol is that is prescribed in the hospital, maybe 50 milligrams. But what is sold on the streets is like 500 milligrams. So it is times 10 what the hospital will give you that you are taking in one tablet. And many times the properties are synthetic. So they will mess with you when you take it for too long. Some of them now weed edibles. One day I went for a party, and this is me who has not used any substance for how many years. I'll tell you my story in a bit. I went to a friend's party. My friend from school, we used to get high together. Then I went for her party, and then the next thing, I just saw them. Some people were in the kitchen. They were just grinding things and then mixing it with things and pouring it inside the dispenser. So I said to her, let me know that I'm not drinking this one. And I saw they brought the brownies, and I said, oh, can I have a taste? As soon as I wanted to have a taste, my friend shouted, say, no, short chamo, because you will walk out of here with your head. I'm like, you're kidding. She said it's her sister that did it, so she knows what's inside. So when you go for parties and you see those edibles, if you know you don't trust the person that is doing the party, don't eat anything that you don't know. It's very important because these days, people just like to get people high for the sake of cruise. There is a video I'm going to play later. I'm sure some of you have seen it, where they are blowing into balloons. The girl was blowing into a balloon, and while she was blowing into a balloon, she was laughing. Somebody was telling her, blow it well now, blow it well now. And she was laughing. She just took it, not knowing that she has inhaled a huge amount of the substance that was inside, the laughing gas. She went hysterical. Guess what? They were recording her. So those are subtle and hidden drugs. I mean, you say, what's wrong with a balloon? I'm just inhaling and exhaling into a balloon. But it gets people high because there are substances that they put inside, and then that's what happened. I'll show you the video later. Then flavored vapes also. So those are the types of drugs. Some people will take one, some people will do a mixture. I was someone who was very intelligent. Some of you might know me, some of you may not, and just in case none of you do, I was a very intelligent child. I was one of those very, very smart kids. I was book smart, I was street smart, but nobody had given me drug use prevention education. So I did not know these things. By the time I was getting to secondary school, I was the best student in my state. I was the number 3 in the whole country. It was a big deal. My family was extremely proud of me. I was very intelligent. But by the time I was coming out of secondary school, because I had started experimenting with drugs and all those things, guess what I came out with? I came out with 4 P's and 4 F's. I had to rewrite my exams, and then I came to the north. I was in Lagos at the time. I had to come to the north. I met a new set of friends who were doing drugs, and they didn't involve me in their drugs, but I wanted to now get involved. What was I doing before? Cigarettes and alcohol. But these ones were now doing harder things, and I felt like, why will you not get me involved in this? What's going on? Why are you not getting me involved? And this is why I'm going to talk about the cycle of addiction now. Curiosity is the first cycle. The first step in the cycle. You are curious, you want to know how it feels. You want to know how, let me just dirty my eye, I'm going for a party, let me just have a bit of fun. Or let me just, my friend say if you take it, you'll just be floating in the air. Curiosity. The moment you're curious, the next step is experimentation. The moment you now experiment, you like how you feel. And this is when I talked about developing tolerance. When you experiment, you like how you feel, you get into repeated use. Repeated use is because you have built tolerance, and so you want to keep using because you want to keep feeling the way you felt before. Before you know it, you become dependent because you keep building tolerance to get to that place the first time you experimented, how it made you feel. You now start using more and more. From your repeated use, you become dependent. You cannot do anything without it. And then addiction, full-blown addiction, means that you have become uncontrollable. You can't control yourself, you can't do anything. When you lose control and feel like you need that drug to function or feel normal, then you know that you're fully addicted. Some of their definitions: one, use is just taking a drug occasionally for a reason, maybe for a headache. And then abuse, when you use it the wrong way or you want to escape reality. Those are some of the definitions. So you will hear me interchangeably using them. I did this, and like I told you before about peer pressure. Peer pressure was one of my problems, my own problem. One of the things that peer pressure does, and in fact, there are different types of peer pressure. There is direct pressure, there's indirect pressure, there is spoken pressure, there is unspoken pressure, there is, of course, positive and negative. But the one that I want to talk about that happened with me was indirect pressure. Most times you have it with maybe like your celebrities or people you look up to, role models, people that you just feel like, I just love the way Tiwa Savage does. You know, that's someone you look to. You like the way she dresses. You like Ira Star. Oh my God. Ira Star will be like, Ira Star. You just be like, oh my God, the way she just does. Oh, and you'll be thinking about all those things and you want to be like them. So even the things that they do, somehow you find that you start to try to do them too. That's when you know that, okay, these people are actually pressuring. Have you noticed that sometimes if you go to a store, a shop, to buy a boutique, to buy some clothes, yeah? Your mom wants to buy you normal trousers, and you now see the one that Ira Star wears. Trust me, the first thing that comes to your mind is, Mommy, I want to wear the one that Ira Star, I want to buy the one that Ira Star wears. Guess why? Because you want to be accepted as cool. And that's peer pressure, indirect peer pressure. So when you wear it, your friends will not be like, you're too much. Yeah, you have the latest, you're trending, you're trendy. Calm down. You can define cool. Nobody has to define cool for you. This is what happens every time. Now let's talk about the consequences of drug use very quickly. On your health, it can cause brain damage. I found out through one of my mentors that what drug use does to your brain is what acid does to your skin or to clothes. It damages your brain. It holds. It causes memory loss. Many of the substances actually facilitate memory loss. Many of them, hormonal imbalance. And for a woman, hormonal imbalance is not something that you want to get into. Because when you start to treat hormonal imbalance, you will understand that you don't need it. Because it will affect you having children. It will affect even your body. It will affect you. I mean, you actually feel imbalanced because your hormones need to be a particular balance for you to function properly. So it will affect you. Another thing that it affects, it causes depression and anxiety. Many people don't even realize. And this is why mental health is we speak about mental health constantly. Mental health, your depression will cause you to use drugs. Drugs will cause you to use, cause depression for you. And it will cause you to use drugs. Anxiety is the same thing. For some people, suicidal thoughts. I have a friend who was running one day, running. I said, where you did run go? He said, can't you see those three men? They are running after me. They are running after me. I'm like, oh my God, nobody's running after you. He said, no, I just want to kill myself. I'm tired of having those hallucinations. Because some drugs make you hallucinate. They make you see things that are not there. How else does it affect your health? Risky behaviors. Because when you have used drugs, your inhibitions are lowered. You don't even see that you need to apply caution in anything. At that time, you just want to just do anything because your brain is just telling you can't do it. There are no inhibitions whatsoever. Some people will tell you, when I smoke marijuana, I feel more creative. No, the creativity is already inside you. It's just that because your inhibitions are not lowered, you are still thinking, what will people say? What will people say? So you are conscious of yourself. But if you tap into your creativity, you will find that it's there. God put it inside there. Another way it affects you is your hygiene. I remember those days when I used to be high on the street. I would just look like a person that was mad. In fact, recently I saw a picture of mine. I wanted to put it up on social media. I said, God, let me not do this to myself. I have left that place. But I looked like a raving mad girl. I had a lighter and cigarette in my hand. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. My hair was standing like a raving lunatic. Poor hygiene. Sometimes you don't want to take a bath. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you drag is a smoke. So it affects you. How does it affect your relationships? Lying, isolation. Sometimes you don't want your family members to know. It happened to me 13 years. My family members did not know I was doing drugs until I was on a 700 Club interview. That is when they knew that this is what had happened with me all those years. Stealing. I stole very well. I stole from my sister's travel agency. I was inflating prices just so that I could have money to fund my habits. And so when I come, I'll just take myself away so that nobody will catch my habits. I will come and laugh with everybody, play, play, play. Then I will disappear. Nobody will know what's going on with me. Number two, broken trust with family and friends. For a long time, I had to keep trying to earn my trust back. I have a course that I do, and there is a module that talks about earning trust with family members, gaining that trust because it's not easy. People will still be looking at you with those eyes as in, this person that used to. When you come into a room, your phone will, if you enter a room, everybody just remove their phone and be hiding it. Because before, when you enter a room, somebody's phone must get lost so that you can go and sell it and buy drugs. So those are some of the ways that it affects your relationship. Physical and emotional abuse in toxic relationships. Many times we're abusive towards people. Many times people are abusive towards us. How does it affect your destiny? I dropped out of school, so I know this firsthand. It will have an effect on your destiny and your dreams. I dropped out of school. I had to go back to school. You must go through life. Life is in stages and processes. If you do not write SSC, you cannot write JAM. Or if you cannot write JAM, it's these days now we have some schools that you don't write JAM, but you still write an entry exam into the university. So life is in stages. If you miss out on one stage at one part of your life, you will go back. I wanted to be a lawyer. I don't reach there. I never got there. I'm happy now. I could go back, but I really prefer to do drug use counseling and teaching and prevention so that nobody has to go through what I went through. All of you know Auntie Atima. So I'm going to use her as a beautiful example. Auntie Atima's first child is in uni. My first child is 3 years old. Not because life happened, but because I happened to my life or my destiny and my dreams. So all the things I should have done earlier, I ended up not doing them. I was delayed. After we'll say it's our village people, but we also partnered with our village people. You know that thing they say na collabo. I collaborated. I collaborated with my village people to delay my destiny and my dreams. So it's very important that you know the consequences of drug use. So when somebody is coming to tell you, come and use, come and take something and feel good, remember all the things. One substance will mess with your health, mess with your brain, mess with your memory, mess with your hormones, mess with your mental health, mess with your hygiene. It will mess with your relationships, then mess with your destiny and your dreams. Another one is pregnancy or sexual exploitation. I have a friend who has 4 kids for 4 men that she doesn't know. Guess what? That girl didn't do as much drugs as I did. Because when she's high, she sleeps with just anybody. You're older girls, so I can talk to you. Some of you already know about sexual purity. Or some of you are even sexually active, or you have friends who are sexually active. She will sleep with men that she does not know. And then the next thing she'll find that she's pregnant. She cannot even tell which man it is that has the child. 4 children, all of them, none of them even looks like herself. So they look like 4 different people that we don't even have any clue about. So pregnancy or sexual exploitation. Some people, criminal records, missed opportunities. You just heard what I talked about. Every choice you make either protects or sabotages your future. So you are either agreeing with the enemy when it comes to your life with the choice that you make, or you're agreeing with God. And if God says that he knows the plans he has towards you, that's who you should be agreeing with, right? So every choice either protects or sabotages your future. What choices are you making? I want to ask you what your values are. What are values? Values are the things that you hold dear to yourself. And can two work together unless they agree? What that thing is saying to you is your values must be the same with your friends. If you don't have the same values, you cannot be friends with the person. A person who has values that are not in the same level as yours, you are not going the same way. Your values help you choose your friends. Your values help you in the environments that you plug yourself into. Your values are so important. What are the things that are important to you? So I'm going to ask you, what are your values? Put in your notebook right now. What are the 5 most important things to you? I know many people just throw words around: integrity, what are those ones to say? Honesty, integrity, fairness. But it is true. But I want you to think about it in this way. What are the things that catch your eyes easily? When you want to be friends with someone, you're like, she's a very kind girl. So if kindness is a value for you, you will be kind to people and you will be drawn to kind people. But if dishonesty is a value for you, when you see a Yahoo boy, you'll be thinking he can be my boyfriend. But if honesty and integrity is important to you, when you see a guy or a girl who is doing her job diligently, those are the people you want to be around so that they can rub off on you. If you see 2 apples, one is bad and one is good, put them together. In no time, the one that is bad will start to affect the one that is good. So understand what your values are. Know your values and choose your friends based on your values. Choose your friends based on your values. If you have friends who are going the other way from where you're going, you have no business being in the same vehicle, because either they are going nowhere or you are going nowhere. One of you will get to your destination, the other won't. So enter into the same vehicle with the one that is going your direction. And that, I'm not talking about the vehicle, I'm talking about your destiny. Your destiny is important. Peer pressure and vulnerable scenarios. Who and what pressures girls to try drugs? Sometimes it's your friends and your boyfriend. Yes. Some of you you just find that the boy is so cool. The boy just tell you, just try this thing. You too, you go and try it. The boy will tell you, why don't you just try this? It will make you feel good. You too, you go and try it. Because you want to be accepted. Because you want to be seen as cool. You want to be seen as, oh, you are not a wet blanket. Listen, when it comes to wrong things, please be a wet blanket. You must be a wet blanket, because your future will thank you for it. Your future will say, well done. I have my mates who, my office right now is owned by my mate because she stayed on the path of her future in her view. When you have your future in your view, when they call you to the left to do drugs, you will not answer. When they call you to the right to do drugs, you will not answer, because you have set your face focused on where you're going. So when anybody, friend or boyfriend, tells you to try anything, it's fun. My dear, you know where you are going. You will not look. Let me use an example I like to use all the time. You have 500,000. You are going into a shop to go and buy your phone, AirPods, and all the accessories, and everything comes to about 500,000. Then your friend calls you and says, come and buy sunglasses, or come and buy a Stanley Cup. The first thing that comes to your mind is, if I buy this Stanley Cup, as much as I want it, I will reduce 100K from my 500K. That means I won't be able to buy my AirPods or my phone. I don't need it. You have made a rational decision. You will not be pressured. Instead, you will tell yourself, I will look for a way to afford the Stanley Cup later. This is what I'm telling you when it comes to drug use. Focus. Because if you look to the left or to the right and you compromise, you have cut yourself, sold yourself short, and you will not meet your destination. What else pressures, or who else pressures girls to try drugs? Influencers and celebrities who glamorize it. When you see them smoking and then you just hear them shouting on colos, you like the way Burna Boy is doing, you like the way Tiwa is doing, you like it. Then you decide that you want to do it. I always say, how can you allow 1% of a person's life, 1%, how can you compare it to 100% of your own life? So you cannot allow celebrities sell that to you. I work as a drug use counselor and I own a rehabilitation center now. Listen, many of them look for help. Many of them are checking into rehabilitation centers to get help. Meanwhile, they will not show you when they are carrying their bag into rehab. You are just looking at them and saying, hey, the way they are doing when they are high, I love it. I just want to, hey, it's so cool. The way she just did her head like this. Listen, don't compare a fraction of someone's life to the entirety of yours. What else can pressure you? Parties, school cliques, cool kids, cool girls, cool kids. That's what happened to me. In the name of, oh, I want to feel among. Sometimes they don't even want you to join them. You will now join them because you want to be part of it. It's what happened to me. They told me, you cannot join us. You're an Ajabota girl. You're a fresh girl. Don't get involved. I said, no. How can you exclude me? I'm a party girl. I need to be part of this. How can you exclude me? Peer pressure, self-pressure. I got into cliques. I said I have been in cliques that can last me a lifetime, 10 lifetimes actually. So right now, I think I'm trying to win myself out from cliques. I just don't even want trouble. Let me just stay in my house and just make money. Cliques, if they're good, if they're helping you to be a better person, if your friend is pulling you up to be better, if all your friends in that clique are actually trying to be better people, then you are in the right clique. Parties, be careful where you go. Be careful the party you go. You get into a party, they open a drink, it's not you that opened it, don't drink it. If you go into a party, you don't know who is doing the party, be careful. When you get into a party, look for escape routes. Send your location to somebody. Most of you have mobile phones. If you don't have a mobile phone, let someone know where you are. Tell someone. Stop saying it's my life, I'll do what you want to do. When you live your life like that, it still affects other people. You're not the only one that gets affected by your decisions. First of all, your brain is even still developing as a teenager. So you can't even make rational decisions yet. You must run your decisions through an adult. And the adult is looking from outside so they can advise you, even though you think that our advice is not always cool. But on the long run, it will help you. What else can pressure a girl to try drugs? Curiosity from emotional pain or trauma. Sometimes when your boyfriend has broken up with you, so your friend now tell you, come, let me give you something, let's go and party, so you can forget that stupid boy. You two, you'll be feeling, okay, let's go and party. Even though you're a good girl, you're a church girl, you will now go and party with them. They will say, okay, take something, just take it to make you relax. All this cry you're crying is a bit too much, just relax. And you will take it. You don't know where it's coming from. Those are the things that make people start to use drugs. So if your friend, your very close friend offers you a pill, let's say you did not know your friend was like that, before a party, what should you do? 3 questions you must ask. What is this thing you're giving me? What does it do? And what is it for? I say again, what is this you're giving me? What does it do? And what is it for? Very important. If they cannot answer you categorically, and you cannot Google is your friend, then you know that you've put yourself in some form of trouble. Don't take anybody's word for it, because high people are getting other people high. Hurt people hurt people. So if your friend is getting high, they may want you to get high because they don't want to be feeling like they are left out. Oh, and then you'll be like, I don't want her to feel bad that she offered me something, so I just took it. It's not your business. They offer you, you don't have to accept it. A girl you admire in school gives you a vape and says, relax, it's harmless. Or no, let's just go and have shisha. Listen, what would you do? Especially if it's a girl that you admire. Tell me the truth. Are you going to say, I better go? I don't want. Especially if it's a girl you admire that now wants to be friends with you. What would you really do? So I'm giving you a question to answer. Put it in your notebook right now. How do we say no? We need to talk about refusal skills. Refusal skills that work. Number 1, be firm. Be firm. Don't be afraid. They can't beat you. If they even try to beat you, most times you need to know that if you stand up to people, even bullies, when you stand up to a bully, they back down. You must be firm. Put your foot down. No is no. No is a complete statement. no is enough. If you feel like no is too short, no, say no, I'm not into that. And don't bring that to me anymore. Be firm. Number 2, excuse yourself for exit. I have asthma, I can't try that. Or no, I don't roll like that. And there's also something good with saying I don't roll like that. Some people if you don't tell them you don't roll like that, they will keep coming at you. And if the person keeps coming at you, walk away. Change that friend. Change that friend. Can two work together unless they agree? Bad company corrupts good character. Another thing you can do in case you can't walk away is change the subject. You can tell them, oh, let's go get some food instead. You can tell them, oh, I need to read my book, or no, I need to do something more productive. Another thing you can do is call them out. Call it out. That's dangerous. I'm not messing with that. I'm not rolling with that. I've heard from someone how their life was ruined by doing drugs. If they say it's not true, I have one uncle that's been doing drugs for the last 20-something years. He's still going. They are functional addicts, all right. But let me tell you, if they tell you the truth, you will know that they are still affected in one way or the other. Because guess what? Drugs affect the part of your brain that makes rational decisions. One day I went to speak somewhere in one of these Rotary clubs. And so the guy was trying to counter everything I was saying. He said, well, as we were talking about marijuana, he said, no. I have a friend. He's a fantastic surgeon. He's a good guy. Every time he does, even the marijuana actually gives him creativity. And then the guy now said, I looked at him and said, okay, your friend is a surgeon and he smokes weed. He said, yes, and he's very creative. I said, oh, fantastic. I said, are you married, sir? He said, yes, I'm very married. I said, good. I said, do you have children? He said, in fact, my wife is pregnant right now. I said, fantastic. I said, so, sir, do you believe in cesarean section? He said, yes. I mean, my wife's first child was born with CS. I said, oh, fantastic. I said, so now, when she wants to have this child and they want to do another CS, are you going to be opposed to it? He said, no. If it's going to save her life and the child, why not? I said, what if they now tell you that the only surgeon that is available is this your friend and you just finished smoking marijuana? Will you agree? He said, no, God forbid. I said, how about? I said, so it's good for somebody else, but it's not good for you because he knows that it's dangerous. So call it out and tell them it's dangerous. I'm not messing with that because you don't know if it will affect you much more than someone. There's some people that will smoke marijuana now. I'm still alive. I did drugs for 13 years. I know someone who did drugs for less and is dead because they overdosed, they went into a coma and never came out of the coma. How do you know if you're going to be that lucky? You don't know. So call it out. Don't joke with it. You need to be brutal. You need to be very intentional. You cannot be playing with something that is about to kill you. If a lion came at you, you will run or you will fight the lion. Just in case you want to act like David, you will fight the lion or you will run away. So why would drugs come at you and you will play with it and be saying, no, it's okay, let me just play with it. You are playing with something that has the potential to take you out. So you need to actually call it out and say, that's dangerous. I'm not messing with that because it can also mess with your reproductive system. So how does prevention start? It starts with you. You must have your personal boundaries. As a female, first of all, as a girl, you must have boundaries. You must have boundaries. You cannot fall for everything. You must stand for something. And how do you start for something? I talked about values before. Know your values. I don't need to try everything to prove that I'm bold. It's not compulsory. I don't need to prove to anybody that I'm bold. If I had known these things before, I would not be where I am now. I'm sure you guys would have been seeing me. I'll have been the chief judge of the nation or something. I did not know my boundaries. I didn't think I had boundaries. I didn't understand that I needed to have boundaries. Imagine being one of the best students in Lagos State at the time when I wrote my common entrance. To someone who woke up by the dustbin one day. I woke up, I thought I was asking them who opened my curtains. I forgot, I didn't even realize that I crawled out of a room where we had smoked and choked the place with smoke. And then I crawled out because I couldn't breathe anymore and lay down on the floor. And that's where I woke up the next morning. When my mates were going to class, of course I had to drop out of school because I had no boundaries. Know your values. Till tomorrow, some of those girls, now when I look at them, I'm like, how was I ever friends with some of these people? How? What was I thinking? What was I thinking? How was I friends with them? I didn't know myself. I didn't know my values. I didn't know my boundaries. Number two, avoid risky environments. Avoid clubs. Avoid clubs. You have not reached the age yet. You can't. Avoid it. Avoid certain sleepovers. You know. Let me tell you something. If something feels unright, it is unright. Because we all have that instinct inside of us that says danger is like an alarm system that goes off and says danger. So you know that this sleepover is not going to add up for me. We all know. Isolated hangouts. When someone calls you to come somewhere, you don't even understand. You go to the place, you are looking, everywhere looks shady and uncomfortable. Immediately get out of there. Very quickly. The next one is say no to peer pressure. Listen, stand your ground. Only go with friends that are going where you're going. Only go with friends. We always know these people. Everybody, even if you don't know them and someone tells you this person is bad, you will know that this person, if they tell you the person is bad, you should start to see the signs. Even if you were what's the word? You were blind to them before. You will start to see the signs. Avoid those kind of toxic friendships. Friendships that make you do things that you are not meant to do. You know it. You know that your parents won't be happy. Your family values are embedded in your head. So they will let you know that, oh no, there are some things you shouldn't get involved in. But when your friend is not telling you to go against your family values, you should know that this is not someone I should be friends with. You should know that we are not going the same way. There's no point. Oh, that Ira Star is dressing the way she is, or Temi is dressing the way she is, or Thames is dressing the way she's dressing, does not mean that you should. Your family values, carry them with your full chest. Okay? It will help you. The next one is create a personal code. I choose to protect my body. I choose to guard my mind, and I value my future. Your future is important. Your future is important. Remember what I said? Collaborate with God to value your future, because your future will thank you for your past. Your future will thank you for your past. But I protect my body. I choose to protect my body. I choose to guard my mind, and I choose to value my future. Get your own personal code if this doesn't work for you. How do you create boundaries or personal rules? Number one, in the area of friends, sample personal rules. I choose friends who push me to grow. I choose friends who push me to be better. I choose friends who push me to be a better version of myself, not friends who make me break rules. One of the things that happened with me in my SS1, hey, my friends would say, let's just go out to school. I was excited to just go out to school. I had nowhere to go. I would not follow them. Let's go to your house. Why? Stay in school. No, let's go to your house. So in the area of your friendships, choose friends who push you to grow. And you need to start creating those codes. What kind of friends do you want now? What boundaries are you choosing in the area of your friends? Number two, parties. What boundaries are you choosing in the area of your parties? You don't attend parties where drugs or alcohol are present. Or you don't attend parties where they have drinks lying open and somebody just opens a gift to you. You don't attend parties where they misbehave and then just throw themselves around. One day a party was done in Abuja. They carried a big bowl and they said the entry ticket for the party, your pass for the party, was any drug whatsoever, whether it's vitamin C, paracetamol, BP medication, diabetes medication, seizure medication, epilepsy medication. Just bring anything from your house, whether it's even tetracycline, flagyl, any medication, and you bring a full card. So they brought a big bowl, emptied everything inside. Everybody put all their drugs inside. Then they now poured beer and alcohol and vodka and gin inside, mixed everything together, and guess what? They started telling everybody, drink a cup. Everybody pick a cup and drink. Do you know the kind of things that happen? Somebody died because of that party. Because the amount of reactions and mixtures and interactions that had happened from those drinks, because some children did not have boundaries. When someone tells you your pass into a party is bringing drugs, you know that that's not a party for you, because you don't know what can happen afterwards. What other area do you need boundaries? Your emotions. Ask for help when you are overwhelmed. Don't escape through drugs. Ask for help. If you know Auntie Folake, she's a therapist. She has a book. Help me. I can't understand my emotions. I can't remember the title of the book. Get it. Ask for help. Another place you need to have boundaries is phone and social media. Listen, anybody who does not look like where you're going, unfollow them. I had to unfollow a particular, and this is me, an adult. I had to unfollow a particular person on social media because there was a time that I don't know if I should talk about this. There was something that happened, and it was a sexual thing, and so they blew it out of proportion. They were sharing the sex videos online. If you asked anybody, they will show you. In fact, if you were in a Telegram group, it was downloaded there. I did not even know. I was in one of those Telegram groups, and I just opened it and I watched it. I felt literally sick after that because I don't ingest such things anymore. I unfollowed the handle that showed that thing. I removed myself from the group. You must set boundaries and personal rules because guess what? What you behold, you ultimately become. So, what are you beholding when you're watching social media? People that glorify drug use, unfollow them. No point. So, in conclusion, why do you deserve to stay drug free? You are valuable. You are not for sale. You are not an experiment. You are not a pig. You are not a lab rat. You are not a lab rat. You are not an experiment that somebody should say, try this, and you will take it. You are not a lab rat. You are not a guinea pig. You are not for sale. You are valuable. When you think of yourself as valuable, you will carry yourself as valuable. Your self-image is so important. At this age you are, you can make or mar your life. So when you see yourself as valuable and you look at yourself and say, I have a healthy self-image, you will not fall for everything. You are not a lab rat that they will say, let us try. Just take a little. Take what? Why do you deserve to stay drug free? Your body is not a battleground. It's a temple of purpose and potential. If you want to have children, imagine if you have taken those drugs and then somebody now gives you something and then they end up, there's a particular drug that they call a date rape drug. You take it and then somebody now comes and takes advantage of you and rapes you. Then you get pregnant. Then the next thing, you don't know how to tell your parents because maybe they're a pastor or they're very top people in the society. You will now go and meet your friend, I'm pregnant. They'll not say, oh, come, let's go and do an abortion. Before you know it, you damage your womb. You may not have children again. So your body is not a battleground. It's a temple of purpose and potential. Treat it as such. Treat it as such. Take care of your body. Take care of yourself. You don't need drugs to feel beautiful. In fact, what drugs do to you is that they bring out the ugliness that God did not even create in you. Because you were born beautiful. You are bold and you are brave. Listen, you don't need drugs to be bold. You don't need drugs to be brave. I am bolder now than I was then. I was bold before I started doing drugs. The moment I started doing drugs, everyone, even when I was sober, I'll feel like, oh, everybody will probably know what's going on with me. So I'll be trying to hide. But guess what? As I stopped doing it, all of the things that messed with my life, I started to regain myself back. I'm bolder now. You don't need it. You already have creativity inside of you. Anybody who does not like you the way that you are, that wants you to get high before they can accept you, is not someone that you should accept. You should reject them, and you have the power and the right to. There is no need for you to feel that you need to be accepted by anyone. And guess what? Don't ever forget, high people like to get other people high. Let them live in their own dungeon. Don't you ever now think, I want to help my friend. She's always getting high. She's a drug use victim, and I want to go and drag her out. Then you'll be hanging with her. You cannot bring out a person. You are not equipped to bring out a person. They will drag you down instead. So instead, find friends who are in the same value system, who have the same value system as you have, and look forward and stay focused. Focus is so important. Thank you. And I'll be taking your questions. It would be nice for you to write your questions because if you don't ask me, I'll know that you didn't learn anything. And a lot of things that I left out on purpose because I want you to ask questions and we can deal with them extensively. So I'm looking forward to your questions. Okay. Thank you. And I'll see you in the comment section.